Brazilians right now are taking to the streets in protest. And this uprising was sparked last week when video went viral of Brazilian highway police trapping a mentally ill black man in a police vehicle and gassing him to death. This footage is without a doubt very disturbing.
Cara, se seu parente tem problema mental, você tem que avisar, cara.
O cara dentro do carro. Vai matar mesmo. Meu Deus do céu, cara.
O cara é trancado assim.
Vai matar o cara ali dentro, mano. Viu com bagulho arde, cara. Arde, meu irmão. Vai matar o cara, velho.
Without a doubt, you saw it with your own eyes. Those officers gassed that man to death. And the voice that you heard behind the camera, what he had said was, look at that man there. Oh my God, they're killing him inside the car. Now that man that he is talking about was 38-year-old Genivaldo de Jesus Santos. There's his picture there. He was pronounced dead at the hospital on Wednesday, and the unarmed man was suffering from schizophrenia when Brazil's federal highway police fatally gassed him on the side of the road. And the autopsy it released on Thursday, it said that Santos died of asphyxiation, but that it could not determine the immediate cause of death. Now, Santos's nephew, who was on the scene there, his name is Wallison de Jesus. He told the Washington Post that he saw police throw a tear gas grenade into the car. De Jesus also said this to the Washington Post. We told the police all the time that he had a heart problem. He had mental problems, and they continued the torture. Tell everyone to stay away. Brazil's federal police released a statement Thursday that said that they were investigating Santos's death in the city of Umbaba in the northeastern state of Sergipe. And forgive me, I butchered those, I'm sure. In a separate statement, the federal highway police also said it would cooperate with investigating authorities and had already suspended the officers involved in the incident. And even in a country that is numbered by rampant police violence and instances of it, the video still sparked horror and outrage across Brazil. The video has sparked protest in Santos's hometown and calls for justice across Brazil, where police are notorious for warlike raids encouraged by far-right Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, as part of his crime-fighting agenda. And additionally, because Santos was black, his death also has reignited anger over the police in terms of its historical discrimination and disproportionate use of force against black individuals there. Of course, police provided contrasting accounts of the events. What they said here is that the officers claim Santos actively resisted, and police as they approached, according to a statement released Wednesday, and that he fell ill during his transfer to the police station. Nothing about them gassing him. And Santos's wife, who said her husband had been living with schizophrenia for 2 decades but was never violent, well, she said that she is struggling as well as the family is as well, as you could imagine. Jackson, does this seem like it's in any way reflective of justice or how a system should operate?
Absolutely not. And at the end of the day, this is the price of authoritarianism. And this is the only way that it can truly function within a society, is you have to not necessarily just systematically remove people, but keep people afraid of the might that you can bring down on them. And these types of forces are very alive and well in our country. They're alive everywhere because it's really just the uglier sides of human nature that can take control and be focused on order. You know, the elements in our society that are taking abortion rights away from women, that don't want groups outside of their homogenous clique voting or participating in the democratic process, and just that overall group that feels that everything's being taken away from them as the great replacement is marching down the streets. These are the real world threats of these types of movements and policies. So it's not far-fetched to say that this type of stuff can happen here, and that we need to be vigilant and that we need to stay as involved as possible, because again, this is the price that has to be paid.
Absolutely, and when we see these far-right movements take over, we're seeing tyranny in play, and that's not something that just sits within one particular region. It will cross borders. And what we know here in terms of this situation with this man being murdered, which we saw before our eyes as they gassed him, is that the prosecuting general's office there, they said that they requested that the Federal Highway Police reinstate classes on human rights. Like, that is enough. That is not enough. There needs to be justice, and there needs to be an entire overhaul of a system and change. But of course, I'm sure the Brazilian Federal Highway Police could say the same thing about law enforcement here in the United States.